In this quick review video here, we want to talk about the 4 steps to problem solving. And what we've learned are these are the 4 basic steps you're going to take when you want to solve some type of word problem or some type of just general problem solving question. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to understand the problem. And oftentimes what that means is just read through the problem, maybe write down the information you're given, and then just understand what you're being asked to solve. After that, in step 2, what you want to do is once you know what you're looking for, you want to devise some type of plan, maybe some mathematical formula you might use, maybe just creating a table, however you think you can to solve the problem. And then you're going to stick to that plan. After that, in step 3, what you want to do is you want to carry out that plan that you have, maybe use that mathematical formula and solve the problem. In step 4, what you want to do is you always want to look back and maybe check your answer to see if it makes sense. All right, so what I have in this quick review video is 2 problems. And what I encourage you to do is when I go to the problem, pause the video, read the problem, and try to solve it on your own. Go do your 4 steps, and then unpause the video and look at how I solve it and see if you come to the same answer. All right, here's the first problem. We have 2 individuals, and this is what we're given. Trevor worked 20 hours last week, and Trevor's paycheck said they earned $372. Pretty good. Now, Mark worked 15 hours last week, so Mark worked less, and Mark earned $337.50. So he earned less money, but he worked less, okay? So just note that. So the question is this: how much more per hour does Mark earn compared to Trevor? Okay. So the first thing we have to do is we have to understand the problem. So what this is saying is like, what are we looking for? We're looking for how much more per hour does Mark earn. So we're looking to find hourly wages. All right. And then what we want to do is then we want to compare those wages. Okay. So I think I have an understanding of the problem. All right. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to need a plan here. All right. Some formula maybe to help me solve this. And so what I got to think is, look, I know the total for each individual. I know Trevor earned $372, worked 20 hours. Mark earned $337.50, and he worked 15 hours. So what I know, and I we all hopefully we've all had jobs, or even growing up, maybe had a little bit of part-time work. We can figure out our hourly wage by taking the total earned and dividing it by the hours worked. All right, we got it. And like working backwards, like even cross multiplying here, it's something like if I work 10 hours and I make $20 an hour, just multiplying there, that's $200. So working backwards to find the hourly wage, you would divide that. All right, and then what we want to do is we want to find out how much more per hour does Mark earn compared to Trevor. Then what we want to do to find out how much more when we compare the wages, then we want to find the difference. All right. So let's start with Trevor. Okay. Now we have this plan. Now let's carry it out. All right. So Trevor's hourly wage. Well, how much did Trevor earn? They earned $372. And how many hours did Trevor work? He worked 20 hours. So what you'll do is you'll just grab a calculator. This one is pretty simple. You don't even need a graphing calculator for this. You're just going to take 372 and divide it by 20. And then what you see here when you do that is Trevor earns $18.60 per hour. Okay. Now let's look at Mark. Mark's hourly wage. Let's see how much Mark made. All right. Well, Mark made less total. He made $337.50, and he worked 15 hours. So grab a calculator and just do that quick division. Go 337.50 and divide it by 15. And you'll see, even though Mark earned less total, he actually earned more per hour. He is earning $22.50 per hour. So now we can go back and answer this question. How much more per hour does Mark earn? We can look at their difference. So we would take that $22.50 and we would subtract $18.60. And again, just grab a quick calculator here. Go $22.50 minus $18.60, and you would see that Mark earns $3.90 more per hour. All right, so now, step 4, let's look back and check and see if this makes sense. So remember, the problem said, how much more does Mark earn? And we can see just by looking at the values we calculated, Mark does indeed earn more. You can simply check your work by multiplying 15 hours by $22.50 and confirming that, yeah, indeed, Mark did make $337.50. The same with Trevor. You could take $20 hours multiplied by $18.60, and you see that Trevor indeed earned $372. So this all looks good. And it makes sense. We did indeed, through our problem-solving method, see that Mark earns more. And then we found out exactly how much. All right, let's do another one. This one will be a little bit of maybe geometry here. So here's the problem. Frances made a rectangular path for, a little bit of a typo there, sorry, for her driveway, all right, to the porch. The width of the path is 2 feet and the length is 30 feet. What is the perimeter of the path? All right, so think about this. So rectangular path, okay? So the way I'm going to understand the problem is I might start with a visual here. All right, so it's a rectangular path. Forgive my poor penmanship there. But when we have a rectangle, this is our width and this is our length. And what we're saying here is the width here, this right here, this width is 2 feet, and this length of the path is 30 feet, okay? So what we want to know is, what is the perimeter of this path? All right. So Frances made a rectangular path from her driveway to the porch. Okay. So what is this perimeter? So what you might want to do is you might want to look up, all right? And when we go to devise a plan, the formula we're going to need here is for the perimeter of a rectangle. So what is that? What is that formula here? Well, we know, if it helps to just see it. So what a perimeter means would be like if I were to walk around every side of the path. Well, let me ask this. How many times are you walking the width? Twice. So the perimeter here would be twice the width, 2 times the width. And then you would also be walking the length twice, plus 2 times the length. We got our formula. All right, so let's now carry out this formula, this plan, and solve the problem. So we're solving for the perimeter. Well, this would be 2 times the width. Well, what was the width? 2 feet plus 2 times the length. And what was the length? 30 feet. I'll just distribute or just multiplying here. 2 times 2, this gets me 4 feet, plus 2 times 30 feet gets me 60 feet. So this path, this nice path that Frances made from her driveway to her porch, 4 feet plus 60 feet, the total perimeter is 64 feet. Yeah, so I think we got it. So now, let's look back and check our answer. Does this make sense? We could just follow the visual. If I go 2 feet plus 30 feet is 32 feet, plus another 2 feet this way gets me 34 feet. Plus another 30 here. Got it, 64 feet. So this looks good. So in addition to this quick review video, you'll notice at the end of this site here, you'll find some other additional reference videos. I encourage you to check them out. And as always, please feel free to talk to your instructor about these methods and investigate more ways to practice.